I want to write a story. About what? I have no idea. Words are coming to the edge of my tongue, but nothing is moving beyond my lips. I sit here in a quiet corner of a hostel, looking at everybody else and thinking, what are they thinking? This isn't supposed to make me sound like a stalker of thoughts. I'm just interested in the part where they paid to come to this city and are spending their time hanging out on the couch at 11:30. I came to a place that was so meaningful to our development as a society because of what it meant to the world. Where are all the people? The tourists are easy to find, but there's a missing energy to this city. I haven't seen what I'm supposed to see, and it's bugging me like a fly hovering right over the entrance to my ear. But I must remain calm. The journey is only starting. That which I seek has yet to be truly searched for. The Odyssey is a voyage that I must embark on head first and fearless. I followed the river as it flowed to the sea. It ebbed, it rose, it fell. It was one with the land. The trees spread themselves amongst the horizon line as the sun danced carelessly across the summer sky. As she finally lay down to sleep, I looked into her eyes and realized that this would be one of the last times I saw that glint in her iris. I'm leaving the city tonight, and all of these memories will now be a dream. The cliff edge was beckoning. I had to leap off or stay behind. I am not a coward. And the sound of the sea was calling my name. How was I supposed to know what would happen next? I took out the earpiece, nattering at me in my ear, and let go of what was holding me back. What's the worst that could happen? I said, laughing to myself. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. At the mouth of the river, I paused and knelt down so that my lower half was immersed in the cool blue water. The sun was shining as Mother Nature looked me in the eyes and gave me a cheeky little wink. The grass was diverting the wind into the flowers that lay hiding at its feet. I felt my arms open. I felt happy. I felt free as I loosened my mouth and shouted joyously. That's when I realized that there was nobody in sight. This feeling gives me opportunities and takes me to places I could never even dream of going. And at the same time, I had never quite felt so alone. Was this a positive or negative thing? My thoughts, my dreams, my musings had been all the company I'd needed for a long time. But perhaps somebody else would also enjoy skimming the water with their bare feet. There I was, there, at the heart of the Danube. I sipped calmly from the cool water. I immersed my head, my soul, and my sanity in her blue arms and gave in to all else. She spoke to me. This is where the path takes an unexpected turn. I looked over my shoulder, but could only see the sparkling emerald hills rising into the sky behind me. I was alone. And yet, never had I felt so part of something. The breeze gasped against my eardrum as the birds chirped backing vocals to the soundscape. I turned my head towards the east and envisioned the great cities that this river would flow through: Bratislava, Budapest, Belgrade, and back to Mother Mediterranean. Then it hit me. Today was the start of something. It had come time for the ancient software of my mind to update. Once more, I threw myself into the dances of the currents in thanks for what the water had given me. Cleanse. For when all is said and done, it is our engine that drives our ship on the vast ocean of this universe. So tread lightly. There's a storm headed your way, and you best buckle down those hatches and prepare for anything. Amateur recipe for avoiding a nervous breakdown. Ingredients: a glass. The more fragile, the better. 4 tomatoes. a pair of flip-flops. Headphones, not earplugs, proper headphones. Audio of screams on a music player of some form. 1. Go into a room with a hard floor. 2. Smash the glass to the floor. You only get one opportunity to do so make it count. 3. Take the tomatoes in your fist one at a time and squeeze them as tightly as possible. Let the ensuing crushed mess drop to the floor alongside the glass. 4. Put the flip-flops on and crush everything together into the floor. Try to concentrate the mess into an area of the room. 5. Crouch down next to the pile. 6. Plug the headphones into the music player and put the headphones on. 7. Play the screams at as loud a volume as you can handle. If you struggle to find screams, then shouty rock music is a suitable replacement. Do this for as long as feels necessary. 8. Clean the mess up and sit in a corner, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth for as long as feels necessary. 9. Walk away and pretend nothing ever happened. I guess I know why they call it being high. I don't know whether it was the altitude or the clouds of mist I was inhaling, but this was an out-of-body experience. The sun scraped my neck only to disappear and suddenly become much colder. I was no longer in control. My eardrums had gone eerily silent, save the birds that glided gently through the sky. I suppose I'm in their territory now. Talking heads were right. This is wild, wild life, so let's live it. Doesn't everything below you and I seem to pale in insignificance compared to the sheer magnitude of the ground beneath our feet? Hallelujah! Taste the oxygen around you. Go on, taste it. Taste it like it's the last thing your lips will ever touch. Your body is safely in the arms of somebody else, so let go and trust that you won't fall now. Not when you've already come so far. The stakes are high now. So what are you going to do about it? You chose this path and there's no backing out now. Why would you do it? Oh well, it doesn't matter now. Fate has thrust this moment upon you and you can't let it slip. They have been training you to expect all of this, even to expect me. But none of this will truly prepare you for the greatest change of all. Can you be proud of the person you are, even in your darkest hour? Look in the mirror. I said, look in the mirror. That face looking back at you is both your greatest strength and your most feared of weakness. You've been warned. I took it all down before anyone could see. The gravity of sorrows was taking over me. She told me to be patient, that was her majesty. That's how the mountain mothered me. They said I was not worthy, and my heart was too tough. Turn to face the darkness, it's never good enough. Ask myself the question, who do I want to be? Oh, how the mountain mothered me. Whoa, whoa. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, oh, oh. I talked to the demons, all I felt was pain. Efforts made in hope, efforts still in vain. When all that I have given falls upon you like rain, put your feet in the ground. Go back to your roots again. I throw my hands up to the sky, for today's another day. When all my options fail, I'll find another way. And when they tell this story, let them know that I feel free. That's how the mountain mothered me. Oh, how the mountain mothered me. The other day, I was at the laundromat, basically because my washing machine had become very battered and inoperable. But that's another story. And the fact is that if it had been working, that this story wouldn't have existed. So I'm sitting in this laundromat and I'm watching this spinning machine clean my clothes, and I thought, how simple such an invention makes life. You put in your soap, your money, your clothes, press a button, and it's clean. But nothing's that simple. I would be scrubbing my soul forever to try and wash myself clean of all impurities. Society values cleanliness as if to suggest that everything around us should be comfortable and pleasant for everyone. But it isn't. And even when you try, nature destroys quickly. More importantly, I realized that I couldn't stand existing as a figure expected to uphold chaos and make life lovely. I am a creator of chaos. I emphasize problems because then there is more need to find solutions. I am the wave that disrupts the sailboats on the bay. I am the thorn in your rose, because with beauty comes pain, made real and human by the sting. I am not instant coffee. I am the ground bean that burns in your throats and keeps you warm. Because I don't just talk about impact, I make it happen. If you dilute me with sugar or milk, you will lose true sense of who I am. More than that, I am the one who fights against conforming, because when we have so much, we can celebrate what makes us who we are. Fuck organization, fuck expectations, fuck washing machines. At least now you know what happened to mine. The clothes have finished washing by now, but our fight is far from over. The sun kissed my eyes for a final time. Where I come from, the sun does not grace our faces in such a manner. There I was, at a cafe on the south side of the Marghera roundabout near Mestre train station. The donut was bland and chewy, but the sugared, greasy croissant had apricot jam inside. With every bite I took, it felt like the last, almost as if I was going to a place where I would not be able to eat. When I die, I thought to myself, I want it to be with the sun kissing my face just like right now, and the taste of fresh tomatoes on my tongue. I want to be in a place where the angels have come before I have visited, and where the divine is engraved into the walls of the buildings. When I die, I want to be in Italy, so that I can be as happy as I am right now when I meet the gods. Life weighs down heavier upon you. Let me take the weight off your shoulders. Allow the oxygen to come through your lungs. Lay your head, we're not getting older yet. Italia, Italia. Like the dawn meets the ocean waters, I hear your call. It was grey inside my heart, but I don't have to wait any longer. And the sun brings light into my unwashed soul. Italia, I don't feel sad anymore. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. And the faces stare back at me for many miles to come. Tell me how you feel, because it doesn't matter where we've come from just now. Only now, only time, Italia. Lead me home. Wrap your arms around me and guide my lifeless corpse to the place where I am eternally happy. Place my ashes into the ground where my feet were once muddied. Tell the people who I love that they made me a better person. I only wish that I could have given more to all of them. Release the photographs that I took on my travels so that perhaps people can see the world through my eyes. Most importantly, let the words I wrote, the words I spoke, not be hidden from anyone. I lived my life as someone who was open, who was honest, and most importantly, who spent his life trying to spread as much good and kindness and love to others as possible. Lastly, to you, even on my departure, I never stopped loving you. My heart gave everything until it gave no more. I took a twin propeller plane to the edge of the universe. When I landed, the sky was black, the air was a deathly cold, and the trees spoke in tongues I'd hoped to have forgotten long ago. The world seemed so still, so calm, so peaceful, but there was much more that lied frozen beneath the discolored ice. My heart was confused and murky as I wandered blindly through the darkness of the early evening. That's when I looked up, and it spoke to me. One moment here and then there, red and then green, foggy and then clear, lost and then found. The air bit at my face, and my blood seemed to freeze as if shell shock, but I just stood there, staring upwards at the sky. The path had led me to the strangest of places. It had gotten me literally, physically, and emotionally lost in order for me to find myself. Tonight, the northern lights shine down on me, and they reassure me that more than being human, I am Nomad. I am strong in times of weakness, but most importantly, I am alive. I reach out for it. I grasp at the thin air. I extend my tongue as if maybe the oxygen will give me the sensation of a moment and a feeling I come so close to. The images flash through my mind like an indie film shot in sepia. The action slightly blurred, but given alive by the shade on your shirt, the sky, the grass. I watch this feeling fly by me like a wasp hovering over a juicy piece of fruit. I won't hold it in any longer. I won't stand firm to a cause I don't believe in, and I won't even pretend that I walk the path of righteousness anymore. I am high off a feeling, off an opportunity, off a network of beautiful cities blanketed across a continent of stars. This must be what the undiscovered feels like in your bones. This must be what those explorers were searching for when they got on boats and ventured off into the ocean blue. This is why we send telescopes into space, so that perhaps we can see our world in a way that changes how we think about it. I can keep this face as long as I want, but the drawbridge is coming down and the blood is pulsing from my shaking fingers through my arm and back to my life-giving heart. This is standing on the edge. This is shouting out into the canyon. This is stepping foot on the tarmac of a rural airport in a foreign land. Life wasn't built for comfort. Life wasn't built for efficiency. Life wasn't built for speed or sex or memories or even reason. It was built for the feet that set foot on these territories. For those brave enough to run into the dark cave and for those who will bet the house on a hunch. The saliva fills my mouth once more. The hunger for this dream in reality, this indescribable sensation, this urge to do more than run down the eternal clock. This is what keeps me alive. Ring the final bell. It's time for last orders. Get you to the bar for a whiskey or a wine or a beer, or that last shot of tequila. Smile as you proudly bring your drinks back to your friend and tell them to keep going with that story they were telling about the laundromat that just opened or that trip to Italy. Ask your date if she likes documentaries about space. I hear there's a new one on Netflix. Listen to the bartender tell you about the forest that he used to live in growing up. Don't stop there, though. Let the spirit flow through you. Let it be with you as you leave the bar tonight, and let the feeling reign supreme in your hearts when you wake the next morning. By the time I finish speaking to you, you may have forgotten these stories. You may have forgotten my voice and the voices that have all been presented. You certainly will have forgotten the words I use to describe the things that really matter. So instead of trying to remember in vain, march forth into the darkness. Follow the river until it reaches the sea, and then jump with no fear of hitting the bottom. I will meet you there.